Hi, I'm Fleur. I'm the Creative Director and Co-Curator of Deep Time, Real Time, the 2025 Alastair Swayn Legacy Exhibition. What we wanted to do was ask visitors to really explore and to situate themselves within these timescales. As citizens in the world, but also importantly as architects and designers, we often really struggle with understanding ourselves within that planetary timescale. Through technology, we can visualize and understand our entangled relationship with deep time.
So our contribution, Strata Signals, is a large timeline that spans the sort of expanse of the gallery space. The foundation of this installation is being sort of reforged from the building itself. The web forged panels that line most of the interior of the building have been taken off the wall of the other part of the gallery space in PR2 and sit as a sort of plinth or foundational layer to the exhibit. Upon that sort of layer is a series of drill cores, which have been loaned from the Geological Survey of Victoria's drill core library. These drill cores are often used by mining or military companies as a way to sort of understand the geological makeup of our state from particularly a resources perspective. So this sort of foundational layer sort of is the ground that we're on, the ground that the gallery's on, the ground that we kind of occupy in this state. And so then upon that is a series of other research and creative works that sort of deal with this concept of time and play with it at different scale.
Strata Signals presents, as the name suggests, information across stratas or layers. The geological representation and the biogeography representation of Victoria in various forms. Real time is often linear, highly precise, and deep time as a representation of the Earth is highly cyclical and spans distant past, but also presents a proposition to us in being able to potentially perceive or give consideration to the distant future as well.
So as you come into the gallery through the main doors and you look beyond Strata Signals, what you'll see is a work or a series of works by the artist Alastair Jankovic in Alastair's Tesla series. We kind of call them techno-fossils, and they're really beguiling, beautifully crafted works. And they are deployed airbags which are layered over time and time again to give them this kind of glistening quality. At the end of the gallery, we have Joel Sherwood-Spring, who is a Wiradjuri artist and architect, and his work is called Whole Coded, and it really talks about the sovereignty of not only the whole through extraction, but also the sovereignty of the absence of the material that's left behind.
One of the other key contributors on the theme of real time is Farzan Lotfijam's work, which looks at the sort of imperial structures of the concept of real time. Its sort of origins in military war games in the Middle East, and then how that sort of technology has been used in sort of everyday surveillance. There are two aspects to Farzan's work. One is the sort of deep historical analysis of the origins of real time, and the other is almost with a bit of levity, a sort of play with the technology. What we're really interested in is to sort of understand how the right scientific gaze and the right use of technology can actually really empower environmental stewardship and conservation.
Behind me is the Palynology, Paleoecology and Biogeography Research Lab's work, led by Wiradjuri man Professor Michael Sean Fletcher. Depicting themselves as time travellers and their work as a kind of book that's slowly having words added to it, they document the Indigenous land practices that have spanned thousands of years.
deep time, real time is really big in ambition, but a lot of the works are really intended to be experienced at an intimate scale. Some of the works you can spray, others you can touch, some are interactive in real time. So in that way, it asks us to situate ourselves in time. It also asks us to think about perhaps a different way of teaching, of learning, of practicing, of researching, where we also consider the types of ways that we're designing, the materials that we're using, our relationships with the earth through this lens of deep time and real time.